Hey beautiful people, welcome back to Devulge Talk Show. My name is Mo Mabandi and welcome to another episode. Today we are doing things a little differently and I have a guest and we're just going to be talking about his life and most importantly about his book. So just to give you guys a quick background or an introduction of who my guest is today. He's a special one, definitely. He's an inspirational speaker, an educator, and entrepreneur. He is an MC of events, public speaking trainer, and a YouTuber. He is a two-time champion of the Toastmasters Area A4 International Speech Contest, an environment management master's candidate, the founder of the Miracle Perspective, a business development specialist, a pastor's kid, and one who is passionate about guiding people to become the person they're meant to be, and of course the author of the very insightful and equipping book called The 5 Rand University. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the one and only Miracle Chawane. Welcome to the show.
What a great introduction. Where did you get that from?
I do my research.
I never experienced it.
Really?
I never experienced it.
I had to do my research.
I have to cut that and put it in front of my introductions everywhere I could.
Is
it was perfect.
Really?
I loved it.
Thank you. How are you though?
I'm good. And yourself?
I'm good.
Nice.
So there's this thing that I have been doing whenever I bring my guest, just to create I feel like it's good for the guest and the host, that in rapport environment. So I just want to ask you two questions before we engage into the conversation. Would you rather be the funniest or smartest person in the room?
Both.
Oh, you have to choose one.
It would depend on the context of the room.
Okay.
If it's meant to build and uplift people,
you'd be the smartest.
I'll be the smartest.
Okay. Alright, makes sense.
But if it's a chilled environment, it's a social, we're chilled with people, get to know people, I'll rather be funny.
Okay, makes sense. Good point. And if you had to choose one type of food to eat for the rest of your life, which one would it be and why?
One?
Yeah.
To eat for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Jeez, it has to be oxygen.
That's not even a type of food.
I can't imagine myself eating one thing for the rest of my life. I can't.
Is it?
Yeah. Yo, I don't know.
Maybe like your favorite food and you're just like, I don't mind having this for the rest of my life.
Pap and any type of meat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll eat that.
Fair enough.
Morning, afternoon, evening, I'll eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So, I tried to separate your book and your life. Your book is in your life and your life is in your book. So it's not easy, but the first question I want to ask you is a very common and obvious question because I feel like it's an important question for someone who's out there who's never seen you, who's never heard anything about you. Just give us a brief background. Who are you? And just your upbringing. Who is Mahlori Miracle Chawane?
Yo, you know more than I know about myself. I'm like, geez, who's this person we're talking about now?
Yeah.
Well, I think you made a very spectacular introduction of me.
Yeah.
Something I had never done myself.
Yeah.
And I'm serious about taking that clip and putting it in my introductions because I think you've put my introduction in a good contextual framework that is easy to understand.
Okay.
And I've never been able to define it like that myself. Yeah.
Okay.
So that and the way I introduce myself is I'm a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
I've been a pastor's kid all my life.
Yeah.
If there's anything I can do even in the middle of the night without thinking, is be a pastor's kid. I think I'm an expert in being a pastor's kid. One day I'll host seminars to teach pastor's kids how to be
I think you should.
kids.
It's very important. I think you should.
Yeah, no, it's interesting. Yeah, but it's been an interesting journey. That's why now it forms part of my identity. One which I never really embraced for a long time.
Yeah.
Didn't want to be associated with being a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
But I got to embrace it and I love it now.
Yeah.
I am a driving school instructor. I own a driving school, TMP driving school. So I teach people how to drive, help them get their licenses and learners. I'm the best teacher you would ever find in South Africa.
Okay.
So if you come to my driving school, trust me, you drive not only safe, but your car will last for long because I teach you the right type of driving, not that you want to get by.
Yeah.
So that's something also I've not been putting it out there. That's why it's not there in your introduction.
Yeah.
I haven't been putting it out there because I was doing it as a side hustle. So my perspective in that light has changed. It's no longer a side hustle.
It's becoming more serious.
It's a real business. It was serious, but it was my outlook to it, my perspective towards it. It was always a side, but it was very serious in the background. So, yeah, and I'm an author of this book, The 5 Rand University. It makes me very proud. And I am everything that you say. Yes, a master's candidate, almost a dropout. That's where I'm at right now, between a candidate and a dropout. Yeah.
Okay.
I finished 1 year successfully, only left with 1.
Yeah.
So, yeah, my pursuit has changed in that sense. And yes, I am a businessman. I teach people. I help people boost their confidence, which in turn helps them to build their productivity and performance wherever they find themselves. In their personal spaces, at work. When they have the right confidence in themselves, then they perform 100% better.
Okay.
So that's what I do.
That's great. So I think if you're watching, you understand who Miracle is. So in your book, you say it starts with your father and it ends with your father. So I want us to officially start with him. And when I was reading your book, one of the things that really touched me is you grew up a rebellious child, of course, and you know, your father being who he was or who he is, that is a pastor, he didn't just rush and say, I need to take this child for deliverance, he's got demons, whatever. But he said there's a leader in you and he needs to cultivate that, you know, that thing within you. So just tell us, what are some of the things you actually love about your father?
Every day I add a dose of respect towards him. When I try and just look at him and look at his life. Even this morning, I was just thinking about him. Jeez, man, this guy. I can't get the full understanding of the type of person he is in his greatness. Because he is great, man. His outlook on life, the way he sees things. If it was not for him, I wouldn't be the person I am. This book wouldn't have come out. I wouldn't be doing all the things I'm doing. My view of life is shaped by him, 100%. My worldview is shaped by him. My traditional values as a man, shaped by him. The way I approach problems, handle situations, by him. And the way I understand things, by him. He is that type of a guy who will have a conversation, like a real conversation, with a kid. And you'll be talking and you'll be having conversations and you'll be like, what is this old man doing? There's a clip of him talking to my nephew, my sister's son. He couldn't even speak. And he's having a conversation. He's teaching them about things. You know, today I was teaching the people at church about this and this and this. Real conversations. You're like, does this guy understand who he's talking to? But his mind works like that. He values people from ground up. Doesn't matter how old or how young you are. So I've learned a lot in how to handle relationships with people generally. Whether you have or whether you don't have, he treats you all the same. And he's a great leader himself. So yeah, he has really
so much humility.
A lot. So yeah, he's an amazing man.
That's good. That's really good. And you were once a people pleaser?
Yeah. I'm trying to fight that by day.
Is it?
It's a disease. It's a disease.
Where do you think you are at right now, though, with people pleasing?
I'm trying my best. I think I'm at the awareness stage. Where every time I do something to please people, I always have to damn myself. Why did you do that? So I'm there, I'm aware. Because before I didn't know that I was a people's pleaser, but I was doing that all the time, all the damn time. And I would always get home and ask myself, why did I do that? Why did I respond like that? And I realized most of the time it was not because of my choice, not something I would have done out of will, but it was something I would have done to make the second person feel good. So I would suppress myself to make someone else feel good. I would always say yes just because I'm scared of
even
saying
though you
no.
don't want to
even
say
though I don't want to say yes.
Yeah.
I always go to events I don't want to go to
Yeah.
because I'm scared of saying no.
Yeah.
So, but now I'm more aware. It's a disease. It's a dangerous disease because it's too powerful.
Yeah.
So fighting that type of a disease takes time. It takes a lot of time because I mean you go with it all your life, and then when you start being aware of it, you have to now reverse the whole life of doing it and start a new life while life is not stopping. It keeps moving.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's hard work, but at least I'm happy because I'm at the awareness stage where I try my best to not do what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
And I try my best to just say what I want to say. I've oppressed myself and I've hindered myself from saying a lot of things because I was scared. How are they going to be taken? And stuff like that. So yeah, my approach to life has changed a bit because I grew up as an entertainer.
Yeah.
Grew up as a funny guy, a clown.
Yeah.
And that was all because I'm a people pleaser.
Okay.
So now with this new awareness, I think I've become a little bit grounded in my approach. Not that loud kind of thing anymore.
Yeah.
Because I realized even that was an act most times.
Yeah.
So now it's like, okay, let me just be me. If it needs me to come up and be all bubbly and that, I will do it.
If it's necessary.
If it's necessary.
Yeah.
If I feel like it.
Yeah.
But if I don't, then it's fine. We'll just keep it here.
What did it take for you to come to that realization or that awareness that you know what?
The book.
Okay.
Writing this book was a self-introspective journey.
Yeah.
A very powerful one, for that matter. Because it made me interrogate. When I was writing this book, I didn't want it to be just a piece of literature that you can get on Google or anywhere. Like, what will make it unique? What will make it powerful? And I was like, let me use it as a tool to deal with me. So this book was for me, to deal with me, help myself find who I am, but more importantly than that, find who I'm meant to be.
Okay.
That is why it says the ultimate guide to the person you are meant to be.
Yeah.
And that subtitle came, I think, somewhere along in the middle of me writing the book. I realized, well, this is way bigger than who you are.
Yeah.
I've always been the identity person, teaching people, who are you, who are you? When I started my YouTube channel, I had a series of who are you?
Yeah.
Go around asking people, who are you, who are you? Because it was powerful for me to understand if people know who they really are.
Yeah.
But as I was writing this book, I realized, no man, who you are is a temporary state of being.
Yeah.
Because who you are keeps changing.
True.
Every day it keeps changing. With the new information you hear, it alters who you are.
That's true.
Like what I just told you now. You have just changed. You are not the more blessing that you were before we sat down.
Yeah.
So now you are, wow. Oh, wow. Now it changed you. The way you see life, the way you are. So now it's who you were.
Yeah.
Before when we met this morning, you were this. I told you this, now you are here. So you have left the old you. You are moving. So the most important thing is who you are becoming.
Okay.
So that came when I was writing this book. And this book showed me that I had a lot of weaknesses. Weaknesses that were hindering me from becoming the person I'm meant to be. And people pleasing was one of the major weaknesses that I had. Because I wouldn't do anything that I really wanted to do in the face of other people.
Yeah.
Because I have to make sure that they're all catered for.
And obviously growing up in a church society, you talk about that a lot in your book. When people are expecting you to be the next bishop or just being a pastor's child in general, the way you talk, walk, that also shaped, or it's a factor that pushed you to being a people pleaser.
Yes,
so,
big time. I mean, when you're a pastor's kid, already people have expectations and projections towards you.
Yeah.
You have to be like your father. My father is he understands the art of dealing with people. You would think he's a people pleaser.
Okay.
I thought he was a people pleaser actually, but upon dealing with my journey of getting over this, I realized, no, he's actually not a people's pleaser.
Yeah.
He knows how to stand his ground when he has to stand his ground.
Yeah.
He knows how to make people happy when they have to be happy.
Yeah.
So he knows how to achieve a goal.
Yeah.
So from face value, you would think he's a people pleaser, but he's not. Very grounded. He's a very grounded man, not a people pleaser. So in my immaturity growing up, I took his approach from what I saw, and I thought he was a people pleaser. I became a people pleaser. Because that is what is expected. Your father is good with people. Your father accommodates everyone. Your father is a giver. Your father is all of this. You understand?
Yeah.
So I thought, geez, now I have to also be like him. So I defaulted to people pleasing.
Okay.
Being scared of judgment. Being aware of what people say about me. So that held me back for a long time.
Okay.
Yeah, the what are people going to say syndrome.
Yeah.
They work hand in hand. You becoming a people pleaser and what are people going to say, being scared of judgment and all of that, it's one thing. And I had all of them. So they held me back for a very long time. Yeah, so, and it was all because I was a pastor's kid who lacked understanding of my background and dynamics and how to be a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
It's a very important thing. That's why I'm like, maybe one day I must do.
Yeah, I think you should.
I must do.
I mean, like you said, you're an
Seminars.
expert in being a pastor's
Yeah, I think I'm an expert in being a pastor's kid. We all say the same stories. I mean, if you can listen to pastor's kids, most of us are telling the same story. Yeah, all of us are fighting the same battles.
Yeah.
If you think about, what was this guy? Miles Monroe Jr.
Yeah.
He also fought the same problems. I was listening to one of his videos the other time. He has his own podcast now. And he was talking about how he grew up under the shadow of his dad. He didn't like being a pastor's kid. He was rebellious. Bro, this is my story, bro. Why are you saying my story? So I realized all of us, pastor's kids, we face the same type of problems. And it's because we just fail to understand the context of our backgrounds and how to deal with it.
Yeah.
And then it instead of empowering us, it defeats us. And what's interesting is that the same pastor who's your father is the same pastor that all the congregation draws inspiration from.
Yeah.
And only you, the pastor's kid, feel like, no, this is wrong. While the whole multitude of people around the church, they draw inspiration from this person who is your father. So like, there's something wrong with how we pastors' kids view our roles as the pastors' kids and how we need to deal with it. Doesn't mean you have to now suppress yourself and not be a person. Because that was my biggest pursuit or my biggest conundrum. I want to be myself, man. I want to also have that journey of a normal person, be a rebellious person. Then one day I will meet the Lord and He will strike me with lightning, and then I will turn from my wicked ways. And I'm like, yes, Lord. We wanted that kind of a thing. And because you're born into this thing, it's hard for you to have that dramatic conversion from being a sinner to being a Christian. So that was the biggest issue that I had. But it doesn't take away from the fact that you can live your life. You can still be human.
Because you are human.
You are human. And thank God for my father, because he never really put pressure directly in us, his kids. They didn't put the direct pressure of making it in our faces that we are pastors' kids. We never had daily prayer sessions at home,
the Bible studies
at home. We never had that. We never had you sleep at this time, you wake up at this time, come back home at this time. No, we never had that.
Wake up at 2 a.m.
No, we don't. I've never actually seen my father, heard him around 12 midnight praying and doing all those things. I've never. He was not a religious man. So that made us at peace, live a normal life. pray when you can pray, and just do things, which actually made us more interested in hearing what he has to say when we get to church.
Okay.
Because we are also like the normal congregation. We can't wait to hear the sermon from our pastor. It was not, it's my father, he's going to say what he told us yesterday. We know this sermon. No, it was always new every time. So every time, even now, when he goes to preach, I can't wait to listen and hear what he's going to say. Because like, geez, bro, I can't wait to hear this man. So he's my pastor, for real. How people say my pastor, that's me.
That's how you feel.
I feel like he's my pastor for real. So yeah, I think that's what he did for us.
That's good. That's really, really good. So my next question, you made a Wise Child Spoke stuff one day, back in the day when you were young. Can you take us through what actually happened? Because I really wish it was emphasized in your book, but it's not. I want to know. What happened? Take us through that day. You woke up, what really was going through your head, if you remember?
The snuff story, né?
Yeah.
So, so the snuff is, I don't know what, it's nothing a drug or what? It's a drug or something, I don't know. But it's used by old mamas.
Is it that brown one?
Yeah,
in a little
container with the yellow cap.
Yes, I know it.
Yeah. So that is the snuff.
Where did you get it though?
So the school I went to, it was in town. And during exam season, we didn't have our usual transport taking us home.
Okay.
So we would take normal taxis, and after school we would just go to the taxi rank. So on our way to the taxi rank, to get a faster way to the taxi rank, there is a bush which we used as our shortcut. So in that bush, we were walking one day with my friends to the taxi rank after school. And I'm like, I see a yellow cap somewhere there. I'm like, nah, man, I think I know this thing. Then I went to it, I picked it up from the ground. I found that it's snuff, and I know it's snuff because I come from a village. So in the village, you do see those grandmothers putting the snuff, sniffing the snuff. So I'm like, this is interesting. Well, I've got something as a prop tomorrow at school. Take it up, put it in my bag, and I go home. The next day we come back to school. Break time. Can't wait for break time because I've got something amazing. And I call all the white boys and say, boys, come here, so. Come running, what's happening? What's happening? I'm like, dude, it's something today, you won't believe it. It's gonna make you high, you're gonna feel nice. I'm like, what? What is it? Pull out the snuff. You see this, just pull it, sniff it in your nose. It'll make you feel nice, man. You'll feel right there, you'll be smart after this. Are you sure? Like, don't worry, bro. Then he takes it, I put it on my hand, then he sniffs it. So I put a little bit of overdose. And then he pulled it to his nose. Then wipe off his nose. We're cool, we're chilled. It hasn't settled in yet. We chilled, and then we go back into class. So our classroom, it was, so our school was set up, it was a private school, a very small school. The whole school from grade 1 or grade R all the way to grade 12, it was less than 100 people.
Okay.
And we were all in one building. We were divided by cubicles, like how it is in the libraries. You have your own cubicle. So you'd find that I'm sitting next to a person in grade 12 next to me while I'm in grade 2. And we didn't have a teacher in the middle teaching, okay class, today we are learning. So our books had, it was Oxford Standard. So our books came as study guides. You teach yourself, it's self-study. So you read and you hear the instructions, then you answer the following questions all the way until the end of the book, and then you write your exam. So everything happens in one desk. Only when you don't understand certain things, you would raise your flag, then your teacher comes and they assist you. So we are back in the classroom, all of us are sitting, busy with our work. This kid is busy sneezing over there. It's a mess now. Then they go to him, are you okay?
What's going on?
What's going on? The guy is red in the face. Hey, he's sneezing hysterically. Like, what's going on? Miracle, give me some things.
Oh my God.
What did he give you? And they come to my desk. Yes. What did you give? I'm like, I don't know. It's not me. It's not talking about me.
Yeah.
They asked my friends, like, yeah, that guy has stuff there. Hey, sure, they got to me. I had to like, it's a Christian school, by the way.
Yeah.
So I had to give them, and so like, yeah, I gave him this thing. I thought we were playing. They almost expelled me.
Yeah, it was a big deal.
Yeah, and they called my father.
And that's how the story
I
came
got
to be.
detention. That was the story.
Sure. Okay, that's very interesting. I was very curious, but yeah, very, very interesting.
Yeah, that was interesting. I was a very naughty boy.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
So being the confident person that you are, for me, I perceive yourself as very confident, self-belief. You believe in yourself so much. Have you ever gotten to a place where your self-belief or confidence has been threatened before, or you've ever felt inadequate based on what you've accomplished or what you are accomplishing right now? And it can be internal threat or external threat.
Interesting that you say it like that. And I think, and I'm sure there are people who see you as confident. Do you know that?
I think so, I don't know.
There are people who think you're very confident out there.
Yeah.
But do you think you're confident?
Not that much.
Yeah. Same thing with me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same thing with me. I have a lot of insecurities. A lot. I don't think I'm confident enough.
Okay.
I don't think I believe in myself enough.
Okay.
If I did, I'd be way ahead of where I am right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I would be a multimillionaire by now.
Okay.
I've had those opportunities to become that. But because of that lacking self-confidence and self-belief, I didn't get there.
Yeah.
So the threat of my confidence, is huge. I have many. I'm not there yet where I would really believe that this is the confident me that I'm meant to be. I'm not there yet. And reason being, now I'm more in the awareness stage.
Yeah.
My upbringing and the things that I've put in this book, they are the things that have hindered my self-confidence. The fear of what are people gonna say when I do this. The fear of it's like, for example, with my driving school, it was not out there in the open. I never marketed it as much, never put it in my other public spaces like the public speaking stuff.
Yeah.
Particularly because I was not confident.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
It was a self-confidence issue. Felt like, now if people see me marketing, are they gonna say now I'm hungry, I want money? Stupid things like that. And I can see how that relates to my upbringing as a pastor's kid. You're growing up in a church background where you are raised from people's tithes. You understand?
Okay.
So we rely on people's offerings to live. So now when you go out and ask for money, it's the thing you are used to, because that's how you grow up.
Sure.
It's our money. Don't see him like that. It's our money kind of thing. So that took away a lot of self-confidence and self-esteem in me. To a point, growing up, I didn't want to wear fancy stuff. I never grew up as a person with fashion, wearing expensive clothing. Number one, my father was not going to buy me expensive clothing. He was like, no, grow up, you will buy your own when you have your own money. With my money, you will wear what you will grow up with. So I used to wear those baggy stuff.
Yeah.
And number two, because the awareness of it's people's monies. If now people see you wearing better than their kids while they're the ones paying tithes, it raises a concern. Understand? So that thing, I grew up with it, and I was like, no, I don't want to make people feel bad for tithing at church or for giving at church, because I'm out here living the best life, dressing like nobody cares. So I never wore Cavellas, I never wore All Stars. While my friends, who most of them didn't have the same background I had, were wearing way better than I was. While they are not coming from families where they can afford like my family could. So that became an impediment to how I approach life. I always cared about, it's fine if my friend wears better than me, because at least I have, and I'm in a position where I'm privileged. So let those who don't have privilege shine. So I've always dimmed my light. My approach to life has been, dim your light so that others can shine. Dim your light so that others can shine. Remember, you've got benefits. Remember, you've got privilege. So relax yourself. Dim your light. So because of that, I became scared of doing anything that will show my pursuit for something that will give me income. Because it seems like you want to take people's money again. Ah, well, come on, be satisfied. But your father is already taking enough money from people. Kind of thing. That was me interpreting the whole situation in my head. So it became a huge impediment to my confidence, to how I express myself, to how, even like today, I admire people like Devulge in how they speak.
I know.
His elocution.
I know.
Today I'm like, jeez, bro, how can I just speak like that? You understand? And I had that opportunity to become like him. I always went to private schools from primary. I went to a private school, an English medium school. From there I went to a higher level of that private school. I'm telling you that my school was less than 100 people. We had like care. It was a white school. So I could speak like that. But because of this background thing that I'm telling you, I always wanted to dim my light. I'm not going to come here and speak this beautiful English with an accent because I come from a village. The people in the village don't have the opportunity to study in those kind of places. So I have to sound like everyone else. Only now, in hindsight, when I review and do a self-introspection, I realize that, geez, I wasted the opportunity. Because I was always dimming my light for other people. And that killed my confidence. In the long run, later in life, I was scared of speaking English. Because I refused the opportunities to learn to speak well. Now I can't speak well. And I'm in spaces where I need to speak well.
But I mean, you speak well anyway.
Thanks. Thanks, but I mean, I know I could do way better than this. Yes.
Like Vusi Timbegwa.
That style. You understand? So, and I was like, so my confidence has been threatened big time by many things. Even the story of how I crashed my mother's car into our garage. It brought so much fear to how I take decisions. So because I once made a decision and I crashed into the house, now I'm always scared of taking the next step, because what if it ends up bad like it did with the car that I stole? So that killed my confidence in myself and my ability to take action. So many times I'll wait for someone to take action, then I'll support it. If it's me, I won't do it first. That's why I'd rather do it by myself. No one is there to judge me, no one is there to criticize me. That's where I'm going to be comfortable to do things. But if it's with other people, I'll be the last one to speak. Because I don't want to be the first one. What if it backfires? So my confidence has been threatened many times.
And I can see it's self-imposed.
It is self-imposed, my lack of understanding. That's why it's the miracle perspective. Because it's your perspective that kills you. It's not what happens around you. It's not the situation you're in. It's how you interpret the situation that ends up killing you. We're having a debate last week at church with my fellow brothers after church, where someone was like, yo, bruh, I was talking about breakups and relationships. And they're like, imagine someone leaving you after you've invested your money, you bought them stuff, you bought them this, and then they break up with you. Hey man, I would go angry. I'm like, no man. So the debate was, for me, I was like, no, it's not an investment. You're not investing your money or time or anything. That's why it's your problem. It's your fault to come out of a breakup or come out of a relationship feeling like you've wasted your time, you've invested your energy for nothing, you've invested your money for nothing. That is your fault, not the person's fault, because you are viewing it as an investment. It's not an investment. If I spend money on you as my girlfriend, I'm spending it because I love you. I'm not investing in you. Because when I invest in you, I'm expecting a return later.
Yeah.
And if you don't end up with me, then I lose out on that investment that I made in you. That's why people kill people.
Okay.
That's why men kill women. Because they think they invested in you. I took you to school and you got there, you cheated on me, you left me. No, you're not gonna. You'd rather die. Because of their perception. It's your perspective, how you view things that kills you. It's not the things that happen. So it was the same situation with me. My perspective to my upbringing ended me up in a self-imposed or self-sabotage situation where I couldn't move forward. With this understanding that I have now, if I were to start over, I think I would be amazing.
Okay. Yeah. And now that you are self-aware about all these things, how often do you celebrate your accomplishments?
I don't really celebrate my accomplishments, to be quite honest.
Okay, and why is that?
I once heard the following words. Like your biggest enemy to your next success is your previous success. So resting on your accomplishments becomes an impediment to what you can potentially achieve next. Because you look at it as, wow, I did all of that. Jeez, I'm great, man. I'm amazing. As opposed to, I can do more. It's really a double entendre, because not doing so as well, you won't build your confidence. But doing so too much, you rest in it and you don't move forward. Yeah. But not doing so, you do not value the worth that you have and the value that you have. Yeah. So it's a fine line. The reason why I do not celebrate my accomplishments is because I think it makes me relax. Knowing that, geez, I did honors. Hey man, I finished a year of masters. That is big. I wrote a book. Yeah, no, I'm dope. Yeah. And then I rest. I think I've done enough. So I don't want to relax like that. That's why I don't really celebrate accomplishments like that. But I've never really had time to say, yeah, I'm great, look at me, I'm amazing. Let's celebrate. No, man, I feel like I still need to achieve more. Yeah. What I've done is just a step in the right direction, but it's not at the destination yet. There's still a long way ahead of me. So yeah.
Okay, makes sense. But I think you should at least try a little bit.
Yeah, my next success is I will.
You will.
I'll try.
Okay, so now that you've mentioned about this, I think this question makes much more sense, because you talk so much about identity, self-belief. Maybe if you can explain to us the difference between confidence and pride. Because at times we look at people like, she's full of herself, or he thinks is the age, but it's probably just confidence. And maybe if you can just help us, what is the difference between being confident and having pride?
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
Because it's not really a fine line. There's huge difference between the two. Number one, it depends on the receiver.
Okay.
If you think I am prideful or I'm arrogant, we have to first evaluate you before you evaluate me.
Okay.
What is it about you that makes you see what I do as prideful? So there are certain insecurities about yourself that need to be weeded out. Perhaps you could now draw inspiration from my confidence and interpret what you see as confidence instead of pride. For example, you've got Kanye West. Many people don't like him because he's so full of himself.
And arrogant.
Arrogant.
True. I mean, I think he's like that as well.
I'm one of the few, or the many people on the other side that draw inspiration from him.
Okay.
I think he's confident. I think he's a great guy. So now the difference is, what is the difference between you and I? The person is one, the situation is one, but we have two different interpretations of him. Yeah. So you see that when I say the first thing we have to interrogate is the receiver. Yeah. Because already one person is one person doing one thing, but we got two different interpretations from him. Yeah. So it's up to us. The second thing is what you say about yourself true? If yes, you are just confident, you're not prideful.
Okay.
Because it's true. I'm an author of a 5-friend university.
Yeah.
So when I go around and say I'm a very good author, I write amazingly. I've got stories that captivate, that can change your life. This book is powerful. Is that pride?
No, it's facts.
It's facts, it's true.
Yeah.
I'm confident because I know it's that. How do you know? You must wait for people to tell it. You can't say it yourself. It ministered to me before it went to the world. So I have the right to say it's powerful.
Yeah.
Because it changed my life.
Yeah.
I don't need many other people.
Yeah.
Example, when God created things, the heavens and the earth, the light, the darkness, the birds, the plants, every time after he created something, he was like, jeez, that is good. Who was there to tell him that it's not good or it is? No one. He looked at it, like, jeez, that is good. Was he confident or was he prideful?
Very confident.
He was confident.
Yeah.
Someone would say, no, you don't blow your own horn. Why do you blow your own horn? Like, why have it if you can't blow it? It's yours either way.
Yeah. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, it comes down to the person receiving. Why do you think it's pride? Why do you think it's confidence? So if it's true, it can't be pride. It's true, it's facts.
Okay.
Confidence is the knowledge of what you can do. Whereas the other difference is self-belief. Self-belief is the affirmation of faith that, you know what, I think I can do that.
Yeah.
And you know what, I can do it. Actually, I will do it.
Yeah.
You've never done it before, there's no proof that you can do it, but it's the faith that I will do it.
Yeah.
Whereas self-confidence, yeah, I can do it, I've done it before. I know I can do it. I have the capability to do it. That's the difference between self-confidence and self-belief. Whereas with pride is that there's nothing to prove that you can do it. There is nothing that we can refer to. When you say I'm the best author in the world, we're like, where's a book?
Something, give us
I know when I write I can do amazing. You see, that's pride, my friend.
Okay.
It's arrogance. You're living in an illusion.
Yeah, yeah.
You understand? So we can't prove what you're saying against anything. So it's pride.
Yeah.
But we can prove Kanye West is the best rapper we've ever seen. It shows in the records he sold. The amount of impact is made in the culture. He's among the smartest people in the world. How do we know? Adidas is running after him right now. He's controlling the whole fashion industry. He's doing amazing stuff.
Blowing up social media.
Blowing up social media left, right and center.
Yeah.
Regardless of his weaknesses, everybody has that.
Yeah.
We are meant to have weaknesses. God didn't create species that have no weaknesses. Everyone alive, even in the biblical days, everyone. That's why in the Bible there's no word that refers to anyone as a hero. In the original Hebrew text, there's no word that says hero. There's no definition of the word hero. Because God didn't create heroes. A hero is a perfect individual that we can all look up to and say we want to be like that. But there's no figure in the whole entire history of mankind. There's no one figure that was the model of perfection except for God. So no one is a hero. So you can't say then, I don't like that guy because he's got a flaw, he doesn't treat this person right. Like, look at the right things, draw inspiration from it, let the others be. So that now makes you a confident person in how you interpret other people. So when you interpret other people as prideful or arrogant, it says something about you than the person you're judging.
Okay. Yeah, that makes so much sense now. And in an interview that I watched, you joined speech contests before competitions and stuff like that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but you were in the division level, and you said you lost. And you said you were happy you lost because if you won, you were gonna be arrogant and cocky. Those were your exact words.
Yes.
Was there a point you perceived yourself as someone who's prideful, someone who's the ish, that made you say that or made you feel like that?
Yes.
Okay.
There were many points where I felt like, you know what, here I'm being prideful. And that was because of the ingenuity of my self-proclamation as good. For example, out of my weaknesses, when you say something about yourself in attempts to come out as a person that you are not, and you know that deep inside you're not in sync with what you're saying, then that is a point of arrogance.
Okay.
So you are saying that I'm good. For example, if I had won that competition, I would have thought I am amazing, I'm good, man.
I'm the ish. Yeah.
But it would be coming from the point of insecurity, the insecurities that I had. The reason why I joined that competition, it was to prove to myself whether or not I am a good public speaker. Because I was coming from a background of church.
Yeah.
Where in church you always speak, they will clap hands for you.
Yeah.
You fumble, you don't fumble, they'll always clap hands for you. Church environment is for that, it's for uplifting and building people.
Yeah.
So I was comfortable in that space. Then I was like, no man, I know there's a certain level of growth that I need to tap into. And church is not gonna give me that. Then I started my YouTube channel. Like, let me expose myself to the world. Guess what? I went to church, I went to YouTube. Most of my following were the people from church again. They're like, wow, amazing. It's not helping, guys. It's not really helping. You're back in the same thing. So I'm like, okay, let me go into a professional space where there are people who are trained to be speakers. And then let me see if I'm good enough. Then I joined Toastmasters. Understanding that they teach public speakers. Then when I got to Toastmasters, I realized there's a competition. Like, wow, and it's in the next 2 months. I haven't done enough in terms of doing my speeches, because you have to have done about 8 speeches before you can qualify to get into the competition. Now let me quickly do the speeches so I can quickly qualify for the competition. I had this self-pursuit. It was from an insecure point. Am I that good? Am I not? Then I managed to qualify for that competition. I got into the competition. I won club level. So I'm really that good. I won area level. Came first place. So I am that good, really? But listen to this. I am coming from an insecure standpoint. I'm not sure if I'm good. So I'm doing this thing to prove that I'm good. You see? Then I went to division level. That is like where all the heads, the big heads met. I was black summit. Nowhere even up in the top 3. Yeah, I'm actually not that good. Point proven. So I was happy that I failed, because if I had also won that, I would have gained this huge confidence out of an insecurity that I had, which was not going to be confidence. It would have been arrogance. Yeah, you see, I didn't even need Toastmasters. Didn't even need training. I was that good. I was born for this kind of thing. So because I lost, it made me say, aha, I knew there was something missing that I had to learn. And then I went back and I started learning the art of public speaking, step by step. And that is what now gives me the confidence to say, you know what, I'm a good speaker. Because it's backed up by the fact that I have learned the art of public speaking. I got into competitions now with the right knowledge, not winging it. Because I was winging it all those times. It's just that my advantage was, church helped me a lot. Most times at church, you're caught unprepared and you have to quickly come up with something. And then you do it. That is powerful. It helped me. So I think on my feet. I'm very fast thinking on my feet. It helped me with that. But the actual preparation, structuring your sentences proper, your paragraphs, your thoughts proper, I didn't have that. So going back into drawing board and understanding how to speak effectively helped me to now come with that. So now I know when I get into spaces and say I am a good speaker, it comes from a place of confidence. It's not insecure confidence anymore. It was proper confidence, because I've got this concept of there's a difference between confidence and insecure confidence.
Yeah.
And insecure confidence is that you're familiar with the space you are in. So it's easy for you to do whatever you're doing. Church, for example, I was familiar with the church setup. I was familiar with the people. So it's easy for me to stand up and just say, give announcements.
Yeah.
Stand up, conduct fundraising.
Yeah.
It's easy. It's people that I know. But will I come with the same confidence if I'm exposed to a different environment with people I do not know? That is what exposes your insecure confidence. So you had confidence, but it's filled with insecurities. It's just coated by the environment you're familiar to.
Yeah.
That is insecure confidence. Confidence is that I don't care who's there, I will deliver. And that's what I have now. I don't care where I'm at. If it needs me to deliver, I will deliver. Because I know that whatever value that I have is within me. It's not in the space that I'm in. So that is the difference.
Okay. Well said. The 5 Rand University.
Yes.
Now, when you started marketing your book on social media, etc., I was like, yes, finally someone is writing a book about finances. Because the 5 Rand University, in my head I was like, he's probably going to be talking about how to boost your finances or how to have a healthy relationship with your money by investing a 5 Rand coin. And I didn't follow up about what the book was about exactly. I bought the book. When I opened, I was like, how?
Wow. So you were buying it to get financial literacy?
Yes.
Wow.
So you might have explained how you got to the name, but maybe just explain further, because I also want to understand why the 5 Rand University. Where did it come from?
I wonder how many other people out there who bought the book for the same reason, thinking it was a financial document.
Yeah.
To a certain degree, it is a financial literacy book because it talks about how a 5 Rand changed my life and my outlook of life. So back then, when I was still in primary school, I left home, come from Mpumalanga. I was born in Mpumalanga, but we had another house in Limpopo. So my father took me to this private school I was speaking about earlier, and it was in Limpopo. That's the Christian school.
Yeah.
So I stayed in our other house there in Limpopo. What would happen is that my father would come and check up on me once or twice in a week. Every time he goes back home, he would leave me with 50 Rand. That was to survive through the whole week. I would buy bread, and it's the same bread I would eat in the morning, eat as my lunchbox, eat after school, eat in the evening because I'm lazy to cook.
Okay.
So one loaf, it will be a loaf per day kind of thing. So at that time, a loaf was 5 Rand. And I bought around, let's say I needed about 3 or 4 loaves in a week. From the same 50 Rand, it's my pocket money to eat at school. A pie was 10 Rand at the time. So if I was gonna buy a pie was like the most basic type of thing you can eat at break time. You can buy at the kiosk. So if I was gonna eat at school, I would need the whole 50 Rand just to buy a pie every day. Without the extra chips or cool drink or anything to drink, just a pie. So my 50 Rand would finish. And I wouldn't have bought bread, I wouldn't have bought my other things that I needed throughout the week. So that, I realized I can't afford to spend money at school. I'm gonna buy my bread, prepare my lunchbox, and I'm gonna use the rest of the money to do other things. The other things happened to me. An arcade machine, which was introduced at the spaza where we used to buy our bread. They brought this arcade machine where we used to play games, your Street Fighters thing. I got so addicted to those games, such that all the change I had after buying my bread and all I needed for the week, I would break it down into 50 cents. And every day after school, I don't even go home, I'd go to the arcade machine. Hello kid, hello kid, The problem was that I was not particularly good in the game. So I was always losing. This one time my father came back unannounced. He didn't tell me he was going to come back. I didn't have a phone at that time, still young. So, and he was not also coming back to spite me. He was not that kind of a guy who would always, I want to catch you out, I want to see what you're doing. He was not that guy. One thing about him, he trusted. He gives you trust. My father is like that. He trusts easy. He will give you all the trust in the world. So he was coming back genuinely because he had to do some stuff. He got home. It's a mess in the house. I haven't cleaned for the longest time. Dishes, I am a mess. It stinks. Because every day after school I go to the arcade machine.
Yeah.
Come back, I eat bread, I sleep.
Yeah.
So I'm busy playing games, and my father's wondering, where is this kid? And the way the house is so dirty makes him wonder, how long has he not been in the house? So he's now scared. Where the heck am I? He asked the neighbors. They're like, we don't know. He called my transport that we dropped him a long time ago. He called my teachers that like, hey, school ended a long time ago. We don't know where your kid is. My father is panicking. And I'm busy playing. And as I'm playing at the games, I've got my other friend who stays adjacent to our house. He's asking, can I play one game, man? I just want to play one game. And because I'm losing, I don't want to give him. I want to win. I have this thing, I just want to win this game. He's like, I will beat it. And I know he will beat it. It's good.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're not going to play, but I will give you now. So I keep playing. I'm losing. The guy eventually is like, you know what? Screw it, I'm going home. He goes, angry. It's about the time when my father is outside looking for me. And then he's like, where's your friend? He asks him. That guy's like, I'm going to sneak you. That guy is busy wasting money at the games. How that information translated to me gambling in my father's tears. I really don't understand. My father thought my boy is gambling. What? Not my child. He prepared a couple of sticks ready for me, wearing a huge robe. And I come back later around 7 p.m. I'm tired. Just want to go home and sleep. When I turn towards my street, I see my father's car parked at the gate. Who is this? I felt like I'm dreaming. Long story short, I got into the house. He greets me, and I see he's wearing this huge jacket, and it's hot. It's a summer evening. Why is this guy wearing a huge summer evening jacket on a summer evening? I don't know. I get into the house, busy trying to cook up a story. Where was I? What was I doing? Why is the house so messy? He comes to he realized this boy is taking long. Comes to my room, opens the door. Sorry, and I'm trying to explain where I'm coming from.
The sticks are already out.
Opens up. Sticks. I give you money, you're busy gambling. I give you money, you're busy gambling. All those sticks died on my body that night. I sobbed myself to sleep. Long story short, the following week when he goes home, I'm used to, if I go to school in the morning, I'll come back and I'll find my 50 rand on the table if it went home. But that day I came back and I see a silver coin on the table. What is this? And I want to go and buy bread. And I get closer. It's 5 rand. This guy is still here. He's coming. So he said he thinks I'm gonna go buy. I check around, there's a note. This is your money for the week. From 50
to
5 rand. True definition of 10% tithes. He understood the He's a pastor for real. This guy is a pastor for real. How am I going to survive the entire week with 5 rand? And I did manage to survive with that 5 rand.
Is it?
I did manage to survive with that 5 rand. The story is in the book.
Yeah.
And the lesson there was, from that 5 rand, I learned the power of financial management. I learned the power of being independent, what it really means. The power of taking responsibility of your own life. And the power of not living only for today, but for many years that are to come. And that was my 5 rand university. That 5 rand story became my 5 rand university. And from there on, I stopped playing those games. I never went back into those machines. And I was always aware of how I lead my life.
And you're back on track.
And I'm back on track. Even today, I don't just do things for fun. I don't just live for today only. YOLO is not my thing. I don't live once. I believe life is long. I live what I'm gonna do today. Impact, or what is it gonna benefit me tomorrow? What are the consequences of the actions I take today? So I live like that, and it was from that 5 rand university, which is the 5 rand story that I had.
Interesting.
That's why the book is a 5-friend university.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there was a point you resented your father.
Yes.
And I have a question for you, because you talk about you started reminiscing about what your father put you through, etc., and you started writing down your feelings. And I'm not saying that writing down your feelings in a journal doesn't work, but how sure are you that only writing down healed you from that, without at least talking to someone, even if it's not a professional, without vocalizing your feelings? How do you know, or how sure are you that, you know what, I actually healed from this resentment? And remember, it's resenting. It's not just like disliking. Yeah.
Interesting that you're asking that question. It's a very important question. Today we are living in a world of depression. Many people are going through depression. Mental health is a very big thing.
Yeah.
And one of the remedies for that is to speak to someone. It's interesting that there is no medication to heal depression. It's very interesting. And it's called a medical condition. But there's no medicine that can heal depression. What heals depression for sure is your change of perspective to a situation. That is what heals depression.
Okay.
When you start thinking differently, because depression is really you thinking against yourself, and then you feel worse, and then it causes these physical reactions where you just want to isolate yourself and all of the symptoms that come with depression. But it starts from your mind working against you, and then you start interpreting everything as if the world is against you. Nothing works in your favor. Nobody loves you. Why am I failing? What am I living for? What is the point of this?
Yeah.
Why does everybody hate me?
Yeah.
And mind you, that is yourself, your mind working against you.
Yeah.
It's like an autoimmune disease. And one of the ways to heal that, or to remedy that, is by speaking to someone. That's why there are psychologists and psychiatrists, where they put you all in this support group. Other people sharing their own stories, and then you're like, geez, he has a worse story than me. Maybe I should just get myself up and just grow up. What am I doing here? That's how people heal from depression. I realized, wow, someone has a worse situation than mine. Nothing changed. You just changed the way you thought about the situation. Same thing happened when I wrote down my feelings in a book or in a journal. It was as if I'm talking to someone. And after writing that down, it was not easy. The first time I tried to write why I hate my father. Because the reason why I hated my father is because I thought he hated me. I'm the only son, for God's sake. Why would he give me so many responsibilities? At church, I'm the guy who is the leader of the worship team. I'm the guy who is the cameraman. I'm the guy who is supposed to be perfect in front of people. At home, I'm busy driving tractors. I'm still young. I'm looking after businesses. I have to go and check the cows. Hey, there's times where when I was herding our goats at home, and if one is missing, I wouldn't get into the house. He would beat me until I got that one, because I was playing during the day. So Mina, I couldn't even get time to play as a child. He would beat me until I got all the goats. So all of that came back to me. I'm like, jeez, this guy, I hate this guy, because he hated me. Why would he do this to me? See? So it ended up as a situation where, you know what, I just understand he's my father. As much as I hate him, I really do understand the value of him being a father. So I'm going to respect him as a father. But we're not friends. So let's keep it there. It's clear that my father and the son. Until I was like, I'm tired. And I think, I was not diagnosed, but I think when I look at the symptoms of depression, it was depression. Because I would come back from school, switch off all my lights in the house. I want to be in the dark room. And I'm all by myself. Don't eat, don't do anything. I just sob myself, just sleep sometimes. And yeah, I'm just living. There's no purpose. I don't feel like I've got drive. until I was like, you know what? Why do I hate my father? And I started journaling it down. I started writing all of these things that I was telling you now. What he did to me, what he did to me, what he did. Mark what he did to me, how I was interpreting it, what he was doing to me, what he was doing to me. And I wrote it down. Couldn't finish the whole essay the first time because I was already in tears. Left it. Tried again another time, write the same story again. Until I was able to write all the reasons why I hated my father. Okay, I managed to finish the story. Let me write it again. I wrote it again. And as I was writing it, there's a debate happening with me now. But that was helping you, man. But that was for your own benefit. How can you say he hates you for doing that? Look at you now. You're independent. You always grew up as an independent man. Look at the things you have done. It was all because of the lessons he taught you. He was trying to make you better. Oh, wow, really? And my whole perspective changed because I started rationalizing the situation. And that is the problem. When you're still in pain, when you're still hurt, you can't rationalize the situation because it's always, this is happening to me. Why to me?
You're the victim.
You understand? You're the victim. There's no time for rational thinking right there because it's all against you. But when you start writing it down or telling someone who is gonna be honest to say, but look at it like this, then you start seeing, oh wow, they actually love me. Oh, he was doing this for me. And think about it. Your father grew up with a father who abandoned him. Your father was rejected by his father, like my father. He was rejected by his father because he was the darkest one amongst all his children. So my grandfather thought, no, you're not my son. He would call him every day while he's playing, call him, come here. And as he comes, he kneels down. And then my grandfather would look at him, go. And my father is wondering, why is this old man calling me? He would call him every day, he looks at him, go. And then one day my father was like concerned, like, hey mama, he asked his mother, my grandmother, is my father okay? Why is he always calling me and telling me, and he's not telling me anything? Then my grandmother told my father, no man, your father doesn't believe that you are his son. That's why every time he looks at you, he doubts that you are his son.
And he rejected it because
him because of that. So he never wore a shoe bought by my grandfather. He never wore new clothes by my grandfather. So he grew up from that background, being abandoned, being questioned every day, whether he is his father's son. So you can see that for the person that he became and the father he is to me, geez, this guy has done great. He has all the reasons to have treated us really bad as his kids.
I can tell.
Because he didn't have it easy. And now this is a conversation I'm having with me. Like, wow, guy, you really have to be grateful, man. You really have to.
And you were able to heal from that.
And I healed from that. Because my perspective changed to the situation. I was like, it's not against me. It was working for me. So change your mind, get over yourself, stand up, dust yourself off, grow up, live life. That's how I healed.
Okay. I mean, if it worked for you, then I think it's good because of the conversation you're having with yourself. And you changed your mindset and how you view it.
It's important as well to talk to someone. Because understand that in my story, there's a dialogue. I'm saying it in a way that I'm bouncing it off someone, but it was me against myself. That's the same power it has when you're sitting with someone and telling them your story. More especially someone you don't know. Because you are free to say whatever you are feeling without the fear of judgment. I would never go to someone and tell them my stories personally. I would never, because of that fear of judgment. Jeez, okay, are you going to think of this? Are you going to do this? That's why I had to write it down by myself. Didn't have the courage to come and sit down with someone and tell them my issues. I can't even tell myself. How can I tell the next person?
Yeah.
So it does work. I think I wouldn't say which is better than which, but for me, coming from the same me that was working against myself to the same me telling me that no, man, you just don't see it right. That worked wonders. To a degree that no human would tell me the same way I told me, because I was honest with myself.
Okay.
So that was the power I had. But it's I cannot take away the importance of speaking to someone about it. It's important to speak to someone about it.
Okay. You don't like being called a motivational speaker?
No.
You want to be called an inspirational speaker?
Better.
Okay. And why do you feel it was important for you as an inspirational speaker to be vulnerable to your readers and to your audience? Because I noticed, sometimes these inspirational / motivational speakers, whatever they talk about is always wake up in the morning, do this, if you're gonna fail, those kind of things, and then they are not vulnerable.
Yes.
They don't share their stories, but you chose to do that. Why was it important for you to do that?
Yes, it's very important, because even now you can see most of what we're talking about here. It's me just telling you my stories. As real as they come into me. That's why you will never find any of my videos or interviews that are the same. From the same questions, but the answers are not the same all the time. Because I do not sit down and practice how to respond. I always want to be genuine. Mind you, I'm the same person who comes from a situation or a background of I've never lived a truthful life, because I was always trying to please people. It won't help me to start preparing and start finding a way to refine my answers and do all of that beforehand. Same thing happened when I wrote the book. I was like, there are many motivational speakers, there are many books out there about personal development. Why should I write another one? There's many. Why should I write another? What will make it special? And I realized that it's special because I'm the only me in the world. You'll never find another me in the world. You will go Cape to Cairo, you will never find another this miracle in the world. There's only one me. Therefore, what will make me different is my personal stories, what I've faced in life, what I've encountered in life, and the way I dealt with. Because there's only one me. So the best way or the best gift I can give to a reader is to show them how I was the real me who dealt with different things and managed to conquer, some which I didn't manage. But let me just put it as it is. That is what's going to make it unique to the audience. So it is not a motivational book. I'm not a motivational speaker, because you can do it more. You can achieve greatness. You're going far in your life. You're good as you are. You're enough. That's motivation. You're just motivated. But it's not backed up by facts. See, that is the problem with motivational speaking. You're told all these glamorous, beautiful things that you will do it. Then you go home and you're still hyped up. And you wake up tomorrow. I feel like, how am I going to do it?
Exactly.
You see, you don't have facts. You can't. There's no tools on how to do it. So it's not what I want to do. It's not the impact I want to make to the world. That's why I would rather be the inspirational educator, because I want to educate, give you step-by-step process. That's why in the book I say there is a part where it says how to believe in yourself, because the how is very important, not the believe in yourself. Yes, we got that message. The message has been told to us many times. Believe in yourself. We know now. But how do I do it? See, so that's where I come in as the educator. Like, you can do it by looking at this. Do this like this. Look at this like this. Try and do this. That's why I mentioned the story of how I wrote down my feelings on a paper. That is how you get out of the own hole that you've dig yourself in. By getting out and putting your feelings down, then interrogating them, and then find a way to rationalize them. See, I'm giving you a way forward. You're not just motivated. After my speech, you don't feel motivated. You feel empowered. Oh, I can also do this, and this is how I can actually do it. So that is the type of person that I am, and that is what I was trying to do in the book. That's why I became vulnerable.
Okay.
And I put down real life situations into the book.
Okay. All right. And why shouldn't people retire? Because in your guide you say people. I want to know, because we always told we need to work hard while we are young, then you retire. Why do you think people shouldn't retire?
Wow, it's actually the first time I get that question.
Is it?
From everyone who had interviewed me about this book. I didn't forget it. I wrote it in the book. Wow. Interesting. A very powerful thing.
Yeah.
Retirement is a bad idea. Very bad idea. Does God retire?
I don't think so.
If he had retired, everything would have shut down. Long term. If we are made in the image of God, who told us to retire? Who came up with the philosophy of?
Now that you ask, I have no idea.
It's a bad idea. First of all, why do we exist? That's the first question. And retirement assumes that you are done with why you existed. You are done with the purpose for which you were created. So you shut it off. Who are you to tell yourself, I am now done, if the purpose was not for Israel, if it was not yours? Your purpose of existence is not yours. You were born with a purpose, given by God. You didn't make it your own. Not even your parents made it. If God is the one who gave you the purpose, who are you to say, I'm done living my purpose? It's time to stop now. That's why many people who retire, they don't live long after. Either if they live long, they start getting sick. They lose their minds. Because retirement is a bad idea. It's like, I've lived my life doing this for 45 years. I was always waking up at 4 or 5 o'clock. I was always on the road. I was always doing this. I was always getting this kind of feedback. I was always growing in this sense. For a full 45 years. Then after 45 years, when you're 65, automatically you have to shut down. The whole habit and lifestyle you've built for 45 years must come to an end, just like that, abruptly like that. Obviously, you're gonna get sick. That's why, if you check the old age people who are doing nothing, just in old age, they're depressed, they have no zeal for life, they are dying. It's every day, I woke up again, thought I was dead. Because they are dead in real life. We just have their existence, but they are dead. You decided to switch off your purpose. To a certain degree, I think it's evil to retire.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. When you are born, or let me take it to the Bible for a second. It says it is not good for a man to be alone. When God has created everything. Genesis 2 verse 18. It is like the first time in his creation process. The first time he says, he does something and says it's not good. It was when he created a man. Every other time when he created the stars, he created the moon, plants and everything, was like it's good. But when he created the man, it was like it's not good. That is big. That is huge. The whole Almighty Father created something and I think it's not good. There has to be something here. It's like it's not good for man to be alone. What we usually think, most times we use the scripture when we want to put people in marriage. Hey, he needs a man, he needs a woman. But no, it doesn't mean that. Why? Because that is one of it. Marriage is part of it, a bigger plan into it. But it's not the only thing. Because after he says it's not good for a man to be alone, what does he do? He creates animals. Created the animals, put them in different kinds, then he brought them to their man so he can name them. Then after that, he was like, yeah, out of these things I've created, there's still no right companion for the man, and that's where the woman comes in. But the point is, when he says it's not good for a man to be alone, a man is just a definition of a human being.
Yeah.
Remember, before that, he says, let us create man in our image.
Yeah.
And then he created man and woman. So meaning man is just a species that defines man and woman in that context. Same thing it means when he says it's not good for men to be alone.
Oh, okay.
He means a woman, a man, whatever it is. It's not good for them to be alone.
Okay.
Meaning in life, we need each other. We need other people. We need friends. We need family. Why? So that we can serve each other. When you go to work, you think you are going to make a living, which is a wrong idea of thinking about it. You're not making a living. It's a selfish approach when you think you're going to work to make a living. You are going to serve other people. In turn, you get rewarded with money. That now helps you make a living. But the ultimate goal, that's why even in an interview, if they ask you, what are your future plans? And you say, I just want to become a person that becomes great, you fail the interview. If it becomes self-centered, you fail.
It's supposed to be about other.
How is it going to benefit the company? How is it going to advance the company? So that tells you that you are not existing for your own stomach only. You are existing to serve other people, other children of God. That is why you are working. It is just a wrong idea to think you are working for you to serve your own stomach. Your work, if someone is working at the Department of Water Affairs, now people are dying in Amaskra because of the cholera outbreak that is happening. It's in the plant, the processing that has happened. Someone did something wrong in that plant because they are thinking they're making a living. But if they thought, I am going to purify this water so that the people who benefit from it can live a healthy life, then the outlook and the focus is on serving other people. That is what we are born for, to serve other people. Whatever you do, any business that exists, it exists to serve other people. Whatever we're doing right now, we are serving other people. Whatever you find yourself doing at any given point in time, whichever role you find yourself in life, there's nothing that you're doing that hasn't helped or benefit another person. That is why, who gives you the audacity to decide I'm done serving other people?
When you
retire.
Okay, alright. Yeah, I mean, it makes much more sense. Because you do get people that just really literally cut their lives. They get their pension package and that's it.
And it doesn't last.
It
doesn't even last.
Sure.
It doesn't. It's a demonic idea. Retirement is a demonic idea, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't last, and even the money itself doesn't last. You won't last after 5 years. There are studies, many studies, statistics that show that you don't live past 5 years in a comfortable lifestyle that you had before you retired, even after retirement. You don't. Your money finishes because there's no other form of income
that's coming in.
That's other. So it's okay to retire from that job, but don't retire from working. You can work, you can serve other people. I retire from being an accountant in this company. I retire to start my own accounting firm. I'm still serving other people. God is happy with that. But to retire, I now need to play golf. I want to enjoy my life. You won't even enjoy it. It's only you'll enjoy it for the first few weeks, months. After that, it's all, wow, what am I living for?
Okay, so my third last question, as we are about to conclude the show, you said that in your book, my biggest motivation for this book is my kids. So what is it that you have learned or took from your father that you'd like to pass down from to your kids?
Everything.
Okay. Any specifics, maybe?
The way I live my life. For example, this is the ultimate guide to the person you're going to be. If you have read in the beginning part of the book, close to what you just mentioned there.
Yeah.
I do mention that I want my kids to use this as their guide to how they approach life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I do believe if you can read this early in life, you can set your life up a little bit better. I even have that age diagram at the end, which shows that from this age to this age, this is what you should be focused on. This age to this age, focus on this age to this age. It's just a framework. It's a guide, as opposed to approaching life not knowing where you're going.
Yeah.
From that same guideline, someone can say, no, but this is wrong. How about we do that? No problem. It's a guideline.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want with it, but at least you have a guide.
Yeah.
So all the things I put in here are lessons I learned from my dad. So it is everything, the outlook, the wisdom that he has imparted in me, how he lives his life. I will always keep that close to my heart, and I will share it with my kids. Because I am literally an extension of my father. So my father is one, but he became two with me. So I'm literally an extension of my father. Myself is like a 20% to this whole entity. It's my father. So even when he dies, he will be living in me. So it's everything that my father instilled in me that my kids will get.
Yeah.
So that's why I poured out everything I had at that time into this book. Because I was writing with the view of my kids. So you can talk to your parents and ask them, what is the most important thing in their lives? It's their kids. No parent wants to leave their kids in a miserable state. That's why you won't give your kids bad things. It's the same approach I used into writing this book. I wouldn't want to mislead my kids. I wouldn't want to lead my kids astray. That's why I was like, this is the guide for my kids. So I wrote it with a view of the future generations. So yeah, it's everything my father taught me, really.
Okay. So there are 3 things your father wanted to make sure you acquire: Christianity. I mean, he sent you to a Christian school, responsibility, and independence. So do you feel you fulfilled all those things up until now, or do you feel like you could do better?
Could always do better, but up to so far he has done a great job.
Yeah.
The fact that he gave me God, that is the biggest.
Probably the best as well.
The best of the biggest and everything.
Okay.
Now that I've grown, I actually see that it's actually the biggest. Because, like, imagine how I just interpreted the whole issue of it's not good for a man to be alone. How many times have you heard that version? It's probably the first time.
It is the first time, because usually that verse, it's always about husband and wife, marriage.
Exactly.
So now that you've actually put it down, like, oh, okay.
Exactly. It's how my father interprets the Bible. My father sees a particular text in the Bible. You will be shocked where that revelation came from. For example, there's this, I will never forget this. He prepareth a table before me in the presence of my enemies. I always thought he prepares a table before me. So this table is here and my enemies are there watching, looking at me enjoying my table.
Yeah, that's how I see it as well. Yeah.
When he preached about this, I was blown away. I'll never forget it. Let's break it down. He prepareth a table before me. When something is before you, that wall is before us. It's not in front of me, it's before us. But there where it is before us, it's in the presence of my enemies. So where my table is in the presence of my enemies, there before me. I might not even see that table, but my enemies see it very well. That's why they don't want you to prosper, because they see that the table you're going to is really beautiful. So they will do whatever to hinder you and derail you from going into that table that God has prepared. So don't stop. Keep pushing. even when you have this external force against you of your enemies, fight, because they see what God has prepared for you.
True. Yeah.
It's just far from your eyes.
Yeah.
You feel like giving up. You feel like it's not worth it. Trust me, God has prepared a table before you in the presence
of your
enemies. They can see it.
Yeah.
The devil can see where you are going.
Yeah.
That's why he's doing everything to derail you from getting there.
Yeah.
So don't fight, don't fall.
Sure.
That is a revelation I got from him.
Yeah.
I heard that, I'm like, geez.
Mind opening.
Wow. So he is like that.
Yeah.
Wisdom, how he reveals the hidden text behind the Bible. That's how I was like, him giving me God and his insights into understanding the Bible. Jeez, was the best thing ever, because that book has all the answers you can ever look for in the world.
Yeah.
All the answers of everything.
Yeah.
So many things I do not fall for. I do not really follow trends. I'm not a person with trends. I'm not a person who follows the popular culture. And that is from him. He doesn't follow culture. He doesn't like just jumping into something. Always have to analyze it
before you
hop into it. What is it that makes it that big so fast?
Okay.
Why should you jump into it?
Yeah.
So always grounded, and that is coming from the background of the Bible.
Yeah.
He always holds that Bible, and geez, it's powerful how he cracks it down.
Yeah,
so it made me love the things of God, because I see that there's life in there. So that's why I was like, from the three things that you mentioned there, that Christianity one
takes the trophy. Yeah. Okay. Right. My last question: when should we expect number 2? Or are you working on something maybe?
I actually do have about 2 or 3 books
that you're working on.
Still in me.
They're not yet on paper.
Not yet on paper.
Okay.
I have not done justice to this book yet.
Why?
It has not reached enough places where it's supposed to reach.
Okay.
For me to say it's time for another book.
Okay.
I have not, and it's all on me, it's my fault. There's not many people know about it yet.
Okay.
And it's all in my fault. So to write another book would be a huge injustice. Because the stuff in this book are very powerful stuff.
Yeah, they are.
So writing another book would be making this less valuable. So I'm in plans of actually making this even bigger. So my goal is to first get this into all the right spaces that it needs to go, get into many people as possible, get it exposed to as much people as possible so that it can help people, because it really will help a lot of people. So once it does that, I have trainings. I'm working on the audiobook of this book now.
Okay.
And trainings of this book. Like, not many people understand what I wrote in this book the way I wrote it. So, like this interview you are doing now.
Yeah.
Not many people will have understood the book the way we delved into it in this interview. So I am working on training manuals that will go hand in hand with this book. So when you read this book, you will also watch this training of what this chapter really means, what you should get out of this chapter, stuff like that. Because the goal is it's a vibrant university, for God's sake.
Yeah.
So so I want to get it into schools.
Okay, that's actually a good idea.
Yes. So if it can be a training thing, that we have life orientation at school, but what do we learn from life orientation? For real.
Sports.
So I think it is a life orientation manual.
Yeah.
That someone can use, because the biggest questions we are all faced with in life is, why am I here? Where am I going?
Exactly.
What should I do with my life?
Yeah.
Which I think is what is covered in this book.
Yeah.
At least it will give you an idea of where to start. If it doesn't give you where you should go, it will give you an idea of where to start. So I still need to get it there.
Yeah.
Where it can actually help people that much. Okay. Once that is done, and I'm also feeling like, yes, I've done, then I can bring the second book. Okay. Do have even the title of the second book, and it's another powerful title. It's Order. Okay. Order is the book that is in my mind that should come out. Yeah. Creating order around your life to achieve the maximum productivity and performance.
Yeah. Okay. Any closing remarks?
Closing remarks is that thank you so much for this interview.
You're welcome.
I've done many interviews about this book, but I think this was very different.
Oh, is it?
Very, very. You were so prepared, and your mind is fascinating. The way you extracted questions out of what was in the book is different from how I've had it asked before. Okay. It's actually interesting because from the previous interviews I've had, the recent interviews I've had, it's from people who really read the book and actually got real questions from the book. So it's interesting to find the difference in how people perceive it. So this was a very different approach, and I enjoyed it. And thank you so much for that, for taking time into reading the book and to invite me into your show. I really appreciate it. I think if there's anything I can leave with people is that what you stand to get out of this book is this thing. The most powerful thing on this planet is to be known. The next powerful thing after that is what you are known for, because that will either close or open doors for you. If you are known for bad habits, you are never pulling through on time like I did today. you never deliver. You always say you're gonna do something and you never do it. You are just a sloppy person. When you do something, you do it substandard. That is what will close doors in opportunities where it matters. Your name can come up, but they're like, that person. We're gonna have to push him. We're gonna have to do that. She's sloppy. She doesn't do things. She does things half done. It closes doors for you. You are known, but you are known for something that closes doors for you. But if you are known for that person who delivers, if you get an opportunity, you need it. If you don't know, you will find out, and you will always do your best. You will leave the place better than you found it. You always deliver on time. You always do what you say you're gonna do. You have integrity, you have character. You are a person who can be trusted. Then in doors where people are looking for someone, your name comes up because of those things that you are known for. And it opens doors for you. So that's why I'm saying the most powerful thing is to be known. But next to that is what you are known for, because it can either open doors or close doors for you.
That is so true.
So this book will help you find that what you are known for. It will help you craft it. You will craft how you want to be known so that it can open doors for you. And how to do that is through a place of confidence. That's why this book will help you build your confidence. And you build confidence after you've overcome your fears and your insecurities. This book will help you overcome that so that you can come out as a person that is confident in who you are. Be confident enough to introduce yourself in spaces where it matters so that you can be known for the opportunities that you want to be exposed to. That is what the book stands to give you.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming to the show. I really appreciate it. And if you guys want the book, I will link everything in the description. You need to get it because it's a very, very fascinating book and it's an interesting book. So thank you so much, Miracle, for making time. I really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, to like, tell a friend. And I'll see you guys next time in the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye.